Hi guys, my name is Matti Sulanto. In this video I'm gonna share 6 great Lumix features that you probably have never used, or at least you haven't used them lately. Modern cameras simply have so many features that you probably don't even know what your camera has. And even if you read the manual when you first bought the camera, it's just impossible to remember everything that these things have. They just have so much and so many features in them these days. And sometimes I just grab my Lumix and I start browsing the menus just to refresh my memory and kind of see what kind of features this camera actually has. And sometimes I come across a feature that I almost have forgotten. And today I came across 6 features that I had almost forgotten and I haven't used them for a while. And I suspect you haven't used these features either for a while, and it's a good chance you have never used them. So let's get started. Here's the first one. Generally speaking, Lumix menus are quite good and well organized, but like I just said, there is just so much stuff and so many items and so many tabs that sometimes it's just very time-consuming to find the feature that you're looking for. But fortunately, you can customize the menus. There are actually 2 menus that you can customize, and that helps a lot in finding the right feature or the feature that you regularly use. And the first menu that you can customize is the quick menu that pops up on the rear screen or in the viewfinder when you press the Q menu button. The default Q menu is quite good and it has many useful features in it. But to my taste it's kind of crowded and there are some features or items that I don't need or want. But fortunately you can customize the Q menu. You can remove the items that you don't want there and you can add some other items that you wish you would have there. Let me show you how to do that. I'm gonna use my Lumix G90 to show you how it works, but it works the same way on every Lumix camera, and pretty much all relatively modern Lumix cameras have this feature. First you hit the menu and the custom spanner, and then you select operation, and then you select the Q menu. And there is the custom option, and you select that, hit OK. And then you go back to the normal screen and press the Q menu button. And then on the lower left corner you see this Q spanner symbol. You press that, select that and press that. Then there is a small instruction and you hit OK or wait for a few seconds and that disappears. And then you get to select the items that you add to the Q menu. As you get this far, it's pretty straightforward. Just follow the instructions on the screen and select the items you want and delete the items you don't want. I find it easier to delete everything and then just add the items that I want. Then it's easier to get them in the order I want to, even though you can reorganize the order afterwards. But I just find it easier to remove all the default items and add the ones that I want. And once you're done, your Q menu looks a lot simpler and better, and it's a lot faster and easier to find the feature you want to select. And the other menu you can customize is the custom menu or my menu, whatever you want to call it. And my suggestion is that you customize the Q menu to have the features or items that you need regularly when you are shooting, and use the My menu or the custom menu for the items that you need regularly, but you don't need them all the time while shooting. Let me show you how to customize the the custom menu. Okay, first press the menu button, of course, and then select the My Menu tab. And when you first go to the My Menu, it's empty. There's only the My Menu setting option. You press that and choose the Add option, the first one. And then you just start browsing through all the options and add the options that you want. And then once you're done, you can reorganize the menu items, the My Menu items, if you wish them to be in a different order. And then you're pretty much done, and your My Menu may look like this. And now you can really quickly find those menu items or features that you need to change often. I think this is a really good feature and practical tool. Alright, let's move to the next one, and this feature allows you to shoot color and black and white at the same time. And this concerns only JPEG shooters. If you're a RAW shooter, this is not for you, and it's not even possible if you shoot RAW. And then again, if you shoot RAW, you can convert your picture to black and white and back to color and back and forth as many times you wish. But if you shoot a black and white JPEG, there's no way you can get the colors back, at least not the real colors of the scene at the time of shooting. But with this feature, you can shoot, for example, you can shoot a black and white picture and still have the regular color picture at the same time, the same exact picture. And let me show you how to do that. First, you press the menu button again, and the very first thing you do is to make sure that you have only the JPEG selected. Then you go to the filter settings. And by the way, you can also select the filters on the mode dial if your camera has that option. But you can do that in the menu as well. And then you first select the filter you want. You can select any filter in the filter menu, but let me choose a monochrome filter. And then there's the other option, simultaneous record without the filter. You turn that on. And when you turn that on, the camera takes one picture with the selected filter and another picture with your selected picture photo style that you had selected before you turned on the filters. You can of course choose the monochrome photo style and then choose another filter, for example the expressive filter or low-key filter or whatever color filter, and that way you get a monochrome picture and one of the filtered pictures. So if you're a JPEG shooter, this is, I think, a really practical feature. It lets you get two different versions of the same picture at the same time. There are lots of white balance options on your Lumix camera and lots of custom options too. But did you know that you can customize even the default options, and you can even customize or fine-tune the auto white balance? If you think your auto white balance all the time gives you too blue color, you can fine-tune the auto white balance to give you more yellow color. Or if you think the auto white balance constantly goes towards red, you can fine-tune it to go more towards green. And let me show you how to do it. Okay, first select the white balance, and you see all these options on the screen. And let's say we want to customize the auto white balance. You press the down arrow on the D-pad and you get this nice square with all kinds of colors, and then you just use the D-pad to get the correction that you want and hit the OK or the set the middle button on the D-pad, and you're done. You can also select the white balance bracketing here, and then if you choose from the bracketing menu, if you choose white balance bracketing. These are the values that I used for the bracketing. And also remember to sign up for my monthly newsletter. There's a link in the description, but you can also go to my website sulanto.fi to do that. Thank you very much. And the next one is custom file name, which is very practical, especially if you have more than one cameras. Then it's easy to recognize which photo was taken on which camera when you look at them in Lightroom or whatever is your favorite image archiving and image processing software. And let me show you how to do it on the G90, but again it's a similar system on every Lumix camera. First you press the menu and go to the spanner menu, and then you choose the folder and file settings, and there you choose the file name setting, and there you choose the user setting. And there you can first delete whatever the current file name is and select the 3 letters you want in your new file name. And just press the set and you're done. And now it's easier to see which file is shot on which camera. And I think even if you have one camera, it's nice to have a personalized file name on your photos. I use exposure compensation all the time when I'm shooting at automatic exposure modes, and you are probably using it too. And there are 2 options to choose how the exposure compensation works. You can choose the exposure compensation to stay the same whether you turn the camera off and on again, or you can choose the exposure compensation to reset every time you turn the camera off. And let me show you how to do that. First you go press the menu again and choose the custom spanner menu, and there you select the exposure tab. And there you go to the exposure compensation reset and choose that. And there you see 2 options, on and off. If you choose on, the camera will reset the exposure compensation every time you turn the camera off and back on again. But if you choose off, the camera will remember the exposure compensation value even if you turn the camera off and back on again. And it depends on your shooting style and how you want your camera to function, whether you want it on or off. I personally choose the off option. I want my exposure compensation to stay the same, or I want my camera to remember it even if I turn the camera off. But you may have a different way of using your camera, and you may want to have it on. Either way, I think it's good to know that you can choose how the exposure compensation works. And yes, now that I'm talking, I remembered just one more feature that you probably have never used. So I actually have 7 of these tips, so there's one more after the next one. And the next one is the Quick AF option. This option activates the autofocus as soon as you turn the camera power on. And in some situations it might be a little bit faster or easier to get the sharp results if the camera kind of pre-focuses, even if you are not pressing any buttons or shutter or anything. Let me show you how to activate that. Press the menu button and go to the custom spanner menu, and there you select the focus/shutter release shutter, and select that, and there you go to the Quick AF option, and there you can select the Quick AF on or off. I personally don't use this option. I think it's a little bit nervous when the camera is focusing all the time, but you may want to use it even if I'm not using it. I think it's a good option in some situations, and it's good to know at least that it's there available. The pinpoint focus is a very small area that the camera uses to focus, or it's just a tiny focus point. And when you activate the autofocus, the focus area is enlarged on the screen or in the viewfinder. And it's a very good way to verify that the focus is 100% where you want it to be. And there are two options to choose how the enlarged focus area shows on the screen or in the viewfinder. You can either see a picture-in-picture, like a small enlarged area in the middle of the screen, or you can see the enlarged area fill the whole screen or the viewfinder. The smaller picture-in-picture option is really practical, because then you can see the framing at the same time. At the same time you see the enlarged focus area. But the full screen option is very good, because then you can see the focus area in much bigger size. So it's a lot easier to see if the focus is correct. And let me show you how to select the picture-in-picture or full screen enlarged focus area. First you press the menu button again, of course, and then you go to the custom spanner menu. There you choose the focus/release shutter option. And there you select the Pinpoint AF settings, which is on the second page. At least on the G90 it's on the second page, but it's there. If you have another Lumix model, you will find it there. And then you select the Pinpoint AF settings, and there you have a couple of options, and the second one is Pinpoint AF display. It's either PIP, picture-in-picture, or full, which is the full frame option. Whichever you like, you can choose it here. I personally think the full frame option is the better one, because I don't need to see the framing at the same time I see the enlargement. But you may prefer something different, and then you can choose the picture-in-picture option. But the Pinpoint AF is a good feature, and it lets you focus extremely precisely if you need to. And then there is another option, Pinpoint AF time, and this determines how long you will see the enlarged picture in your viewfinder or on your screen. There are three options: long, medium, and short. And you just have to try which one feels the right for you. So that's it, 7 features that you probably haven't used for a while, or maybe you've never used these features. Either way, I hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching. Remember to keep your Lumix active and get some great shots. And I'll see you in the next one.